guys, it's Tori from Monogram Moments, and today I'm going to walk you through how to make these Santa hat sport ball ornaments. So first you can go to my website and I have a bundle, and I also have all of these listed individually, and then I've got pom-poms as well where you can combine your own colors. And then so here they are individually down here, and then I also have a pickleball, bowling ball, and a hockey puck. So once you get whatever you want downloaded, they all fit on the same blank except for the football. So that's why this is nice, because you can have this one blank and use all these different designs except for the football. So once you get those downloaded, I'm using Photoshop, and this is how my setup looks, which we'll walk through this together. And then I'm going to open a separate file folder on my computer that is separate from Photoshop, and I like to drag and drop. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new canvas, and I'll just select my 8.5 by 11. All of this is good to go, and I'm going to select create. So here's the folder I've downloaded from the website, and you'll notice I have 3 different files in here. One is just if you want to use this as a normal design like on a shirt. This is the one you want to use for blanks because I've got a bleed on there for you, and here's the instructions where I tell you the size that everything should be, and I link the blanks. But really, if you're using this design and your software is correct, it's sized correctly already. So we're going to go ahead and actually I'm going to pull in the one for blanks for the baseball. So I just hold my mouse down, drag and drop, select that check mark, and then we'll do the pom-poms. So the pom-poms are a little different. So this is what your folder right here is going to look like. So you want to select your base color first. So I'm going to select the navy base. So you see it's got this white. So I'm going to drag and drop that in. And then I'm going to select my top color. And then my top color, I'm going to select gold. So you see this is going to fill in that white. Now if you just want navy and white, you could just leave it as this design right here. But I want navy and gold, so I'm just going to drag and drop that right there and select OK. Now I'm going to place that in just a second. I'm going to move these how I want them to print, and then I'm going to work on this guy. So it should be sized correctly, so I'm just zooming in and I'm going to place him right there. So notice this is showing white right here, and if you want, you can use the up arrow on your keyboard and just nudge that up. And also be sure, if you're using Photoshop, when you have the move tool selected, that you also have this show transform controls selected also. And you can see I've got this extra black line around the edge right here, and I did that to help you line up this blank. It's not going to show. So this is actually going to be on the outside around the blank, and it's not going to show, but it helps me get everything lined up nicely. Okay, and then now we can just select these and right click and select merge layers. So now it becomes one, and that's really easy. Okay, so now I want to add a name on this, and you see it's got a bit of a curve, so I want to match that curve. I don't love how Photoshop does curves, but work with what you got. There might be an easier way, but I just don't know it yet. So anyways, I'm just drawing out my ellipse tool, and I'm trying to make my ellipse tool match the curve of the Santa hat, and then once I'm happy, I'm going to release. Then I'm going to select my text tool, and you see when I hover over that ellipse that the eye goes from being straight to squiggly. So that means I'm going to be able to write on that shape of the ellipse. So I'm just going to type in this name, and I am using Cool Kid font, which is on my website. Now I'm just using the space bar to kind of move this over, and then I also need to size this down a good bit. So I'm going to take my move tool, and I'm just going to move it up here, and that looks pretty good. I think I could make it a tad bit bigger. So now I'm just stretching out, but you see now it's got that same curve that that ellipse tool had. And there, I'm happy with that. And that is that. So once you get this curve figured out, you can actually just copy, Control C, and then paste, and then you can use the same curve over here. This I was thinking for more of a vendor event, you could do more generic. So you could do like go Wildcats, so whatever your local high school might be, and there you go. So you might need to adjust it just a tad, and there. So I am happy with all of this. So if I was gonna go print, I'm just gonna print it first to my inkjet printer, and I'm gonna print with no color, because first I want to make sure that everything's lined up correctly, because even though these are sized correctly, different softwares can be off just a hair. So I'm going to send this to my inkjet printer. If you don't have an inkjet printer, still use your sublimation printer, but just put normal copy paper in there instead of using your sub paper. And then we're going to go to my print settings and make sure that print in color is off, because I want this to be in black and white. Okay, so I printed this off on just my inkjet printer like I was saying, and I'm taking my blank and I'm going to line it up to make sure everything looks good. If it doesn't look good, then I can go back to my software and adjust the sizing a tad. So that black line that I was mentioning, you can sort of see it maybe. It's helping me line up the blank so I know exactly where to put it, but it's not going to show up when I press it because it's not actually touching the blank. So this sizing looks really good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and print this off on my sublimation printer. And don't forget, before you press these, to peel off this protective cover. Okay, so I got these printed off, and you can see that line just a little bit better now that these are in color. And I went ahead and just cut these apart, and again, these all use the same blank, which is really nice. I've taken my heat press tape and I've gone ahead and taped this down, and I just got this off from Amazon. I don't know what brand I got, but I don't recommend it, so I'm not linking it. And I'm just going to do the same for all the others, and then we're going to press. So when we put these on the heat press, remember that the design needs to go up against the heat, which is the top part when you pull it down. So we're actually going to put these on the heat press like this. Always be sure to check the website where you get your blanks from and what they recommend, and then you can change it for your printer however you need to. I'm going to personally press these at 385 for about a minute and a half. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled these off of the heat press, and now here is the baseball. They're super cute. And then just tie a cute little ribbon, and there you go. And she's also got the blanks where you can do the same design on the back, but I think these are absolutely adorable, and customers have been eating them up. So hopefully this was helpful and inspires you to get into some sublimation on blank ornaments. You guys let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Be sure to join our Facebook group and check us out on the internet. Thanks, y'all.